I used to be a very avid fan of Pokemon ever since I was a kid. From its sprawling, unique creatures design to its colorful and visually beautiful gameplay. It was no wonder I wanted to try playing the game once more. But lately, I've been sucked into the whirlwind of Pokemon Nuzlocke challenges, where I witnessed my favorite YouTubers dealing with tragic deaths, bad plays, and countless losses. It was torture for them, and I wanted to try it out. Welcome to my very first Pokemon Nuzlocke. If you aren't aware of what a Nuzlocke is, I'll give you a brief rundown. Basically, you play Pokemon with a set of rules, where I can only catch the first Pokemon I see in a route and nickname them to form an attachment to them. And when a Pokemon faints, well, you better say goodbye to that attachment because they're gone for good. Now, I wanted to add a little bit more rules because I hate myself. And with that, I'm ready to dive in headfirst and share my triumphs and tragedies on this challenge. Let's see if I can finish it in my first try. And if you liked the video, why not subscribe? It would mean a lot to the channel and it would help me out a lot. As I start my journey, I named myself Larry. We decided to march onto the grass until the town nerd stopped us in our tracks. He led us straight to his lab where he offered us our very first starter. I was indecisive about which Pokemon to pick, so I let my friends decide for me. I told them to say the first starter that came into their mind, and if they say the same thing, I would pick that Pokemon. But if they mentioned two separate Pokemon, I would choose the one that wasn't chosen. 3, 2, 1, go! Okay, Charmander it is. And thus, Arsonist and my adventure began. With the wide-eyed look of Charmander directed at me, we both realized that it is fate for us to journey through this perilous adventure together as the starter and the trainer. However, this led our rival Stan to choose Squirtle in his Nuzlocke run, and he immediately picked a fight with us. Luckily enough, just because you have a type advantage, that doesn't mean your stupid turtle is faster than my lizard. We ran circles around his stupid reptile and ended his run early. After Stan decided to run away and reset his run, Oak tasked us with collecting something from the shop, and after finishing one tiny fetch quest, the Nuzlocke officially began. The run starts as we catch our very first Pokemon, a Rattata, we called Chef, and a Mankey, we called Mechanic. These Pokemon are the foundation of what's to come, so collecting as much as we can will further strengthen our team with— and Chef's dead. You gotta be shitting me. Are you—
Damn, goodbye, Chef.
I just wanted to trade Chef, and it ended up killing him. What the fuck? That moment of realization hit me hard. This was truly my first real taste of what it meant to play Nuzlocke. These aren't just Pokemon fainting, they're gone for good. No amount of healing can bring them back to life. Every turn, every move suddenly felt like life or death, and their blood is on my hands. Chef's life may be tragic, but it was a crushing reminder that we are not playing a kid's game anymore. Pokemon is now a brutal battlefield for us. So we cut the Pokemon that killed him, because what better way to replace a Pokemon than a Pokemon stronger than him? We called him Pilot, by the way. After a small stroll through a forest, we finally arrived at Pewter City, where our very first big fight was going to take place. Training for the gym had become tedious, and I convinced myself that if I can handle Brock as a kid with my small dumb kid brain before, I'm sure I can handle Brock now with my big adult brain. So I went in and demanded a fight with Brock. I led with Arsonist as Brock's Geodude came out first. But at level 12, he was no match for Arsonist Metal Claw. Down went Geodude and came out Onyx. Spamming Metal Claw against Geodude seemed to be very effective, and with Onyx's abysmal attack stat, there's no way for Arsonist to lose this. It's all good? It's all good. As long as I'm— oh!
Told you should have switched out.
Wait. No. That's not how it's supposed to happen. That's Arsonist. He's not supposed to die now. We were supposed to experience this adventure together. I haven't even gotten my first badge yet, and yet he's gone. Oh my god. This is not how it's supposed to go. If Chef's death wasn't much of a realization to me, Arsonist's death really hit me like a truck. There's no way of saying this, but he's gone. For good, and all I have is myself to blame. But the fight wasn't over yet. I sent out Mechanic, and with a heavy heart, I watched as he delivered the final blow to Onyx. We won the battle, but it came at a cost I wasn't ready for. Arsonist's sacrifice hung heavy over the victory, and I could only hope that it wouldn't be the one that doomed the entire run. After a crushing realization in the middle of a gym battle, it's time to focus on the next gym. But I really need to catch more Pokemon with the team I have. I ventured through the fields and caves to catch Spearow, which I decided to call Birdcatcher, and a Geodude nicknamed Hiker. I also splurged and treated myself by purchasing a Pokemon from a rather shady character that I named that one Scuba Diver. As I finally arrived in Cerulean City, I took a moment to glance at my team again and thought to myself, this team is horrible. There's no way I can beat Misty with 2 birds birds, a rock, and a fish that doesn't even have a single good move. I guess if I plan my moves right, I can probably defeat Misty. I guess. I'm just coping with what I have right now. But first, I need to train these Pokemon. So I head up north to train and fuck it, Stan. Stan caught me off guard as he started boasting about his new Nuzlocke run and decided to battle me when I wasn't paying attention. Just when I thought it couldn't get any worse, his Squirtle showed me that my team cannot handle any water types at all. Stan proved to me that any chance that I had with Misty was immediately a bust, as 2 of my heavy hitters just got ravaged by his tiny Squirtle. I started playing risky as I sent out Pilot, and instead of using heavy hits, I chickened out and began throwing sand at him. Look, I'm desperate. This is as cheeky as I get to win. I landed the final hit on Squirtle and luckily won the fight. But did I really? Back to back, my team was dying and most of the starting team was just dead. All that was left was Pilot, the Pokemon that started the whole death thing. I continued marching forward to catch more Pokemon, hoping and begging for a miracle. And I swear Arsonist's spirit must have answered our prayers, as he gave me a miracle. Holy shit, just what I fucking need. This Oddish was just the break I need to salvage whatever godforsaken run this is. I named her Botanist and ventured even further north and came across someone who was stuck in his fursuit. I lent him a hand and helped him out, and I was quite surprised to see how well off some furries can be. Like, Jesus Christ, he gave me a cruise ticket as a token of appreciation? Like, how are these furries so rich? As I continued exploring to train my Pokemon, I caught a Meowth and called her Accountant. The next thing I knew, Arsonist had sent me another form of miracle. We encountered a daycare, a place where I could finally give scuba divers some time to level up without the threat of battling a Pokemon in the wild. So I gave him Scuba Diver and... would you look at that? Scuba Diver is a force to be reckoned with. With the team all leveled up now, I finally marched on to fight Misty, where I started the battle with Botanist. Her Staryu proved to be no problem as Botanist landed multiple seeds on that starfish as it went down. Then came Starmie. Botanist decided to break its ankles, leaving Starmie paralyzed, while Scuba Diver started munching on him. After a few critical flinches, we managed to defeat Misty with no deaths whatsoever. After a stressful fight, I went towards the cruise ship that the furry mentioned, where I could finally relax. I got to talk to the locals there and maybe even started fighting them to train, but we don't talk about that. Words started spreading around the cruise about a deranged maniac entering people's room and fighting them, and they actually sent out a trainer to come look for me. Little did I know that the tenants of the cruise ship had hired Stan to take me out. But oh boy, when he finally found me, I was ready to throw everything at him. You think I'm just gonna let Stan beat me after what he did to Birdcatcher and Mechanic? That's absurd! I will torture everything this man had to offer. I started throwing rocks at Pidgeotto, and Botanist did the exact same thing to Wartortle as she did to Starmie, crippling its legs before she started throwing seeds at him. I even gotta have a little bit of fun with his Raticate, potentially, you know, killing it. I don't think it was moving anymore after I was done with it. After torturing Stan, I got caught by the guards of the cruise ship, and I got thrown out. On to the gym leader. I was about to give Lieutenant Surge, the old war veteran, another taste of battle-induced PTSD. But first, I need to deal with my own PTSD from when I was a kid. Okay, let's go. No! No! Hiker was up for the challenge, and let me tell you, she absolutely demolished this team. Magnitude was the only move she needed. No deaths, no switches, and most importantly, no problems. As I continued my journey towards my next travels, a certain Pokemon caught my attention, and something about him reminded me so much of Arsonist. And without hesitation, Growlithe willingly entered the Pokeball, almost as if he knew he was about to be... wait, hold up. And without hesitation, Growlithe willingly entered the Pokeball, almost as if he knew he was meant to be part of the team. I named him Firefighter, and from that moment on, I was determined to not fail him as I had failed Arsonist. As I was training Firefighter, I quickly realized that he couldn't learn any fire-type moves unless I either used a TM on him or waited until level 45 for him to learn Flamethrower. Knowing level 45 is a long way off, I decided to settle for a TM, which was locked away in the casino. So you know what that means.
Let's go gambling! Aw, dang it. Aw, dang it.
After what felt like an eternity of gambling, I finally earned enough money to buy Flamethrower. But that's not all. I managed to get a Scyther, who I fittingly named Gardener. I set my sights on the next gym leader, and I thought it was nothing more than just a pushover considering that it's just a grass type and I still have Pilot in the team. But as I made my way through the gym, one particular trainer, Beauty Lori, caught me off guard. Oh shit! Oh, that was close. Wait, the Leech Seed! No! Oh my god, you gotta be fucking kidding me. I was in shock. My recklessness after defeating Misty and Surge had made me sloppy, as a simple gym trainer had just taken down Pilot with a Pokemon that's weak against flying moves. My eyes couldn't deceive me, and I was frustrated. With a heavy heart, I placed Pilot in the graveyard and picked up Ophthalmolo, training him to be a Golbat. I wanted to evolve him into a Crobat so bad, but without the national dex, that wasn't an option. And to top it all off, he couldn't even learn Fly. What are these wings for? You can clearly learn Wing Attack, but not Fly? Frustrated, I came back to fight Erica, but not without giving Lori a death glare. During my fight with Erica, all I could think about was how stupid and moronic it was to lose Pilot. I wasn't even focused on the fight anymore. I started lashing out like a kid, spamming the same moves over and over with no plan whatsoever. With this mindset, I was starting to lose my grip on playing this game well, and the run was deteriorating because all that was on my mind was just hatred. After getting the badge, I decided to head over to the casino to feed my gambling addiction once more. But as soon as I arrived, I noticed an awfully suspicious grunt scheming something. I followed him, which led me to the entrance of what seems to be a criminal hideout. The base was massive, with grunts everywhere, but I managed to battle my way through until I reached to the end, and that's when I met him for the first time, Giovanni, the leader of a crime organization called Team Rocket. When I defeat this crime boss, he managed to escape, and this is bad. There's a criminal organization on the loose, and I needed to stop them. I followed their tracks until I reached the Pokemon Tower, where I coincidentally found Stan mourning over the loss of his Raticate. Jesus Christ, I think I went a little bit too far there. As revenge, he wanted to fight me, but that still proved pointless as I started beating him up and his Pokemon in front of his dead rat's grave. He ran away and I started to go to the top of Pokemon Tower, where I saw Team Rocket harassing an old man. I managed to defeat them and their Pokemon, and I rescued the old man, where he gave me a flute as compensation and a lead on where the Team Rocket was heading next. Along my journey, I caught a Snorlax and named him Bedmaker, a Hitmonlee whom I called Martial Art, and Nidorina who I evolved into a Nidoqueen. I gave her a name fit for her title, Queen. When I finally arrived at Silph Co, all I could ever think about was stopping Team Rocket, to the point where my tactics became sloppy, and it showed in my play. Should I keep Hiker in? I know she has low special defense. I think she'll be fine. What just happened? I just let that happen. And what's worse is that I scoffed it off. We just lost a Pokemon, and not just any Pokemon, it's Hiker we're talking about. They might not be the first Pokemon in my journey, but she was an important part of my team. Her dying just like that shows how low I've fallen, but I couldn't see that. I just pressed on as if nothing mattered. I replaced Hiker with Queen as I finally arrived at Giovanni, knowing that I had to stop him. And during my fight, I was flopped once again by my poor plays. Kangaskhan. Kangaskhan? I'll switch to Martial Art. Wait. Oh, fuck me! He's still level 25! I forgot to trade him! Shit, what do I do now? I guess I'll go back to Queen? Oh, fuck. Oh my god. You gotta be kidding me. If only I had taken the time to train my Pokemon. If only I had to focus on each and every one of them. Queen wouldn't have taken the hit for Martial Art. He was grateful for Queen's sacrifice, but that death was unnecessary, and I could have prevented it. This was all my fault, and I paid the price of losing another heavy hitter. We defeated Giovanni, but this curse keeps happening again and again and again. Loss after loss, bad play after bad play. How many more Pokemon do I have to lose in this run? My friends dying as I stand stand above their corpses, thinking if I can ever remove the blood from my hands. With Team Rocket defeated, I was awarded a Lapras, whom I called Sailor. And with no more Team Rocket schemes to contend with, I can finally set my sights back on the gym. I may have defeated a criminal organization, but gym leaders are still a ferocious and strong-wielding difficult Pokemon to fight with. Wait, why didn't Sabrina help us in Silph Co? As I prep my team and I finally arrive at the Saffron gym to face Sabrina, I went there without a train of thought. My plan was simply to get in, defeat her, and get out. No strategies, no initiations, just my recklessness taking the wheel. As long as I know my type charts and use the appropriate moves, it should work, right? If it worked on Giovanni, it could surely work on Sabrina. And never in my life was I so wrong in this moment. Level 43! I'll switch to Bedmaker, maybe use Yawn a bit. Oh shit. Oh no, this is bad, this is bad. Gardener, you can take a hit, right? This is fine, I guess. It was not fine at all. What was I doing? Gardener didn't even have a chance and he became a casualty. He could have played a big role, but instead we used him as cannon fodder. As I swapped to Firefighter, I thought his bite could deal a significant amount of damage to Alakazam. But with one Psychic, Firefighter was left in the red, and everything was going wrong. The sudden surge of terror I felt after losing Arsonist came back to haunt me. I made a dishonorable pivot to Accountant, and she took the hit instead of Firefighter. This is bad. I'm sorry, Accountant, but you gotta take the hit. Ah, fuck. This is bad. What is happening? I thought type charts and sheer force alone could defeat Sabrina. I used to be able to do it before, but why isn't it working anymore? I don't know what's happening. In a panic, I started to overthink on what I can do to salvage this. Thoughts began to flow as my mind started to race in every direction, searching for a possible way to make this work. Enough! If I'm not going to think through this properly, this run will be over. I've lost so much already, and I won't let it all go to waste. For once in this run, I will not let my immaturity get the best of me. It's time to act now. I sent in Scuba Diver as she was the other Pokemon with Bite besides Firefighter. Knowing she had far more health, I relied on my faith in my Pokemon to land a hit and take a hit. And thank Arsonist I did. Oh fuck, you're faster. Please take a hit. Oh my god! The bite was not enough, as it left Alakazam within potion range. As Sabrina used that time to heal, I launched another bite, but it still felt like I wasn't dealing any significant damage. And I got lucky as Alakazam used Future Sight. This time, I used Dragon Rage, as it dealt more damage to him than bite. Thus, I was stuck in this dilemma. Scuba Diver is slower than Alakazam, and if I switched to Firefighter, he would be killed immediately upon switching. The best way for me to safely pull Firefighter out is by sacrificing Scuba Diver, and I don't know if I have the strength to let go of her. She has been a heavy hitter for the team and one of the most reliable members of my squad. And it pains me to say this, but this might be her time. After trying to cope with this situation, I fully accepted it and let Scuba Diver charge her last Dragon Rage. Until... Scuba Diver, it's been an honor to fight with you. Wait, what? Why? Oh my god, she lived! No way! Scuba Diver is still alive! Oh my god! Holy fuck! Ow! My leg! Oh my god, Scuba Diver! Oh my god, that scared the crap out of me. Thank the Lord you're still alive. We won? Holy shit! We won! Through sheer luck, we defeated Sabrina. And I can't believe it. Scuba Diver is still alive. And I almost lost her. This was a lesson for everyone. Well, mostly for me. I can't express how flabbergasted I was to see how we managed to be so lucky in that moment. We got off with a win, but I can't forget the sacrifices that happened in that fight. Accountant and Gardener fought valiantly. After that, I learned to play better, to learn from my mistakes, and my recklessness no longer shrouds me. I promise my team and myself that I will play smarter and ensure that I keep everyone in my team alive. With the trauma I experienced in Sabrina's gym, I can't afford to lose another Pokemon. Scuba Diver had a close call there, but I can't be that lucky all the time. I finally decided on one thing that I have never done in my previous Pokemon games. Research. I should have done that sooner. Like, all of these stats would have been totally avoided if I actually knew the enemy's levels and moves. Now, I know you might be asking, Larry, is this actually cheating? No, fuck you, I lost Arsonist. I went straight to Kaga's gym, then back to the research papers, and back to Kaga, and back to the research papers, and back to Kaga. You get the picture. And would you look at that? I got the gym badge with ease and note that. No problems, no close calls. Then we went straight to Blaine, and back to the research papers, and then back to, and we got the gym badge. It felt stupid, but I finally have the leverage to actually win games. During my time with Kaga and Blaine, I heard rumors spreading around the Viridian City gym was back open for challengers. With 7 gym badges to my name and a team that's been with me through thick and thin, I knew it was time for me to fight the gym. Viridian City is like, what, the first town entered after Palatown? So for sure the gym leader is probably gonna be like a pushover, like Giovanni or something. Giovanni? The criminal mastermind? The one fueled my tunnel vision and pushed me to the brink of desperation? Here, in the gym, as the gym leader, right next to my home. Now, even though this criminal is right in front of me, things are gonna be different. My judgment was no longer clouded by rage, and I wasn't driven by anger anymore. Now, it was pure determination. Well, the determination did somewhat get into my ego, as I wanted to let martial art have its revenge for Queen saving him. Okay, let's pick Brick Break. Okay, a good amount of damage. Ah, shit. Ah, shit! But we all can't be winners now, can we? This man had been a shadow over my journey, but now, with a clear mind, I knew I could defeat him. And I did. The battle was fierce, but in the end, I stood victorious. With all 8 badges in my possession, it was time for me to fight the Pokemon League. I approached the gates where the guards stood ready to check my badges, and after crossing towards those gates, seeing those 8 badges made me pause. These badges, man, they weren't just any pieces of metal anymore. They were the culmination of my journey. Each one was a reminder of the comrades and friends we had gathered and lost along the way. Chef, mechanic, pilot, hiker, queen, martial art, and arsonist. Sure, there are some others that I probably don't remember, but disregard that. However, during that sombering realization, I still have one last Pokemon to catch, the final encounter. Oh my god, dude. I guess. I hope I get this. Got it. I named him YouTuber. As I finally arrived at Pokemon League, I gathered the team that had been with me throughout my journey, and a few more misfits that could help me fight the Elite Four. My final team consists of Rowling, Bedmaker, Botanist, Scuba Diver, Firefighter, and Sailor. It's not the perfect team, it has its flaws, but I'm far too attached to these guys to trade them for anything, and thus, we start the final fight in this game. Lorelei was up first, and I sent out Rowling to take out most of her team one by one with Thunderbolt. Bedmaker finished things off by slamming Jinx into the ground, and with Lorelei defeated, we moved on. I decided to try a cheesy strategy with Bedmaker using Double Team, but it wasn't really working, which left Bedmaker in a tough spot. When I realized the strategy wasn't cutting it, I switched to plan B and took out Onix with Brick Break. I brought in Scuba Diver and Firefighter to take out his Hitmonchan, Hitmonlee, and Machamp, and Botanist finished things off with the last Onix. And we got past Bruno unscathed, though we almost lost Bedmaker in the process. Next up was Agatha, and it really showed how well this team can work together. Firefighter took down Gengar, Sailor took care of Golbat, Rowling zapped Arbok, and Bedmaker finished things off with Haunter and the other Gengar. It was a total team effort, but we nailed it almost perfectly. Then there was Lance. I knew this would be tough, but we have come too far to back down now. Rowling took out his Gyarados, Scuba Diver handled Aerodactyl, and Sailor defeated both Dragonairs. But then came his Dragonite, a Pokemon that I hadn't seen during my playthrough. Before I make a move, Dragonite opened with a killer Hyper Beam, knocking Sailor out in one hit. And because of that, panic started to set in. I sent out Scuba Diver, who managed to land an Ice Beam while Dragonite was recharging, though it wasn't enough. Dragonite was barely holding on. I had to make a choice. Could Scuba Diver outspeed Dragonite and hit it again, or would this be her end? I took a deep breath, and I trusted Scuba Diver like I always do. Are you faster? Are you fast? You're 122. Let's go! Fucking huge! Holy shit! Oh my god, I actually scraped my feet. God damn, that hurt. And she pulled through. We had conquered the Elite Four, and at last, we finally won! But it wasn't over. Lance told me that someone had beaten the Elite Four before I did, and claimed the champion title. If I wanted that title so badly, I'd have to take them down. He told me that just beyond those walls was the person that I need to beat. And surprise, surprise, it was none other than Stan. Before the battle started, I had one last conversation with Stan. Tension filled the air as we both understood each other's goals here. We both know that we deserve that title of champion. But I deserve it a lot more because you all saw my story and you guys didn't see Stan, so technically I deserve it more. And thus, the battle finally began. Stan sent out his Pidgeot as I started with Rowling. Rowling landed a Thunderbolt, stopping Pidgeot dead in its tracks, and thus Pidgeot was defeated. Rhydon was sent out. I switched out to Scuba Diver as she dodged that Earthquake and followed up with a Hydro Pump, taking down Rhydon in an instant. Stan then sent out his Alakazam, and as payback for what happened to Sabrina, I sent out Bedmaker to take out that pesky Alakazam with Shadow Ball, ending it in one hit. Stan became desperate and sent out his Executor, and I can't express enough on how annoying this Pokemon was. I sent out Firefighter to handle it, but Executor tortured Firefighter by putting him to sleep and left him in a fatal state. I switched back to Bedmaker, and the battle turned into a roller coaster of emotions, as this stupid tree won't go down. Let's go! Oh, you're a bitch! Oh, you're a bitch. Oh, you're a bitch! Oh, you're a... Okay, no. I said it like 4 times in a row now. God, I hate this as an Executor. Yeah, fuck you! Dude, how many fucking full restores are you gonna give this man?
Yes.
Yeah, that's right. That's right. That's right! Get dunked on! That Executor was annoying. No wonder Beauty Lori got herself an Execute. Stan's Arcanine came out next and Scuba Diver easily took it down with Surf, leaving Stan surrounded with 5 Pokemon still on my team. Stan had no choice but to bring out his pièce de résistance, Blastoise. Now, my friend had a, let's just say, interesting suggestion.
You're not gonna nuke him? That would have been funny.
Oh, okay, yeah, let's look at that.
Oh, hey.
Yeah, no, we got this.
Guess not.
Well, that plan backfired spectacularly. Was Rowling's death deserved? No, not really, but hey, we tried, you know. In the end, it was Botanist who sealed the deal. After using Botanist in every fight against Stan's starter, Botanist truly became the bane of Blastoise's existence. And just like that, the run was over. We finally completed the Pokemon Fire Red Nuzlocke, and this journey has been rough. But we made it to the end. The adventures we had, the friends we made, the Pokemon we lost along the way, I couldn't have done it without them. This journey has taught me so much, and I'm grateful for every moment. Thank you for sticking with me through this incredible journey. If you enjoyed the adventures as much as I have, don't forget to subscribe for more content. Maybe next time I'll get to play another Nuzlocke. Just not now, as the last game really gave me a headache.